Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Ramses again. Thank you so much for visiting the page. Hope you guys find some value here. If you do, make sure you like the video and subscribe for more content. So let's get started. What is cold calling? How do I make a cold call? I am super excited about this subject. Any chance I get, I just love to talk to people about cold calling and what the benefits are. And I always get the same responses. Cold calling doesn't work. That's ridiculous. That's the stupidest way of getting business. Blah, 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 blah. Well, they're not wrong. It's not the best way to get business, but it is the best way to overcome your fear of rejection and overcoming your fear of talking to people. Now, if you are nothing like me, then you have no fear of talking to people, initially, and you are not afraid of cold calling, right? And I say nothing like me because I love talking to people. I love sparking up random conversations. But when I first got started in real estate, it was extremely difficult for me to grasp this concept of cold calling. So I wanted to share this video with you guys in hopes that it'll help you maybe navigating, the cold call and navigating how to get started and how to overcome your fears. So, number one, before you make a cold call, okay, you have to know your market. You have to really know your market and know your product, okay? So, like I do commercial real estate. So I prospect for commercial owners, industrial owners, landowners, business owners, whatever it may be, anything that's commercial real estate. That's my market right now. Now, when I'm saying know your product, sometimes I'll make specific calls out to specific owners. So an example, just a couple weeks ago, I was calling owners for shopping centers, right? So I had all the information on the shopping centers, what they're selling for, how much they were selling for, new shopping centers that hit the market, ones that just sold, maybe some properties that just leased out. So I knew the product, I knew the market, and I gathered all my information. So that's key when you're going to cold call people, because remember, the people that you're calling, they're probably going to know a lot more about their property in their area than you are, more than likely. More times than not. So you want to know your market and know the type of property that you're talking about. So you don't have to know everything, but make sure that you know the market you're talking about and the property. So if I were you to get started, I would call in an area that I know very, very well, because I could build familiarity with the owner. I could build what's called rapport. So now we have some kind of things to talk about. It just allows you to go more in depth in regards to the conversation and the property in general to see if they want to do anything, with it in the future. So the other thing is, when you call people, try to be yourself. Now, what I mean by that is be yourself in the sense of don't try to, they give you cold calling scripts, right? Like the Mike Ferry scripts or the Tom Ferry scripts or any type of scripts that they have for cold calling. And it's like a robot, right? When you first read them, would you like to buy or sell real estate? When would you like to move? It's very basic, and it's very it seems very repetitive. And everybody that I talk to that doesn't like cold calling, they say, well, I don't follow a script. That's not me. That's not how I sound. Perfect. Remember, the key is not to try to, mimic the script or be exactly what the script is saying. No, the key is to internalize the questions that you're asking in order to get the result that you would like. So what I mean by that is, if you're talking to somebody that is interested in selling, right? You want to ask them questions that would pertain to selling. Like, when did you want to sell your house by? Or when did you want to sell your property by? What are you going to buy next? How long did you think you wanted to do that by? And by asking those qualifying questions, or those questions in general, and just getting more information on the person, you're gonna be able to get that information out of them. So example, like if you're just being yourself, right, and not trying to follow the script line by line, you're just being yourself and you're asking the questions, as that they come. You could be talking about something else, and then wait, I gotta bring it back. I gotta bring it back to where we want to go, which is, can I help them buy or sell some sort of real estate within the next 30 to 60 days or within a year? I like to keep leads, to be honest with you, somebody says, hey, I want to sell something or buy something within the next 1 to 3 years, I'll keep them in my database. Just because for me, I play the long game. I'm looking to capture that business down the line. So anyways, I went off on a tangent there, but be yourself. Be yourself when you're cold calling. Let that come out. Let your natural, I guess, tendencies of how you are, let it flow. Don't be afraid of it. For me, one thing that I struggle with a lot is I go off topic and I start talking just like I did right now. I'm making a video and I have notes in front of me and I'm going off topic. So when you're cold calling, if you go off topic and you kind of feel yourself going this way, it's okay. Just regroup. Remember, be yourself and just get the conversation going in the right way. So that goes into my next point. When you cold call, remember, you're not trying to get somebody to buy or sell on the first call, because you're probably not going to get them to do that on the first call, okay? It's very unlikely. Your goal when you cold call should just be to have a conversation with somebody, okay? Now, what I mean by that, have a conversation with somebody in the sense of you want them to get to know who you are, right? Because real estate, at the end of the day, it's a people's business. So when you're cold calling people, don't focus on, oh man, I want to get this person to buy or sell. How can I get them to buy or sell? How can I get them to buy or sell? The chances are they're not going to buy or sell anytime soon, right? But if you call them with just switch the mentality of, I don't care if they want to buy or sell right now. I just want to see if there's an opportunity for me to be of any sort of help, either now or in the future. So remember that, keep that in mind, because people are going to work with you, not because of what you know, but because of who you are. People are going to work with you because they like you. Real estate is a relationship business. It took me a little while to figure this out. It was hard for me in the beginning to get a lot of business because I was so focused on trying to get the transaction done, trying to this, and I was not keeping track of, hey, these people are working with me because they like me. I was thinking they were working with me because of my skills, because of what I knew, because of my work ethic. No, they weren't. They're just working with you because they like you. Now, does all that stuff help? Of course. But remember, don't beat yourself up too much. Don't try to sell them on the first call. Just try to plant the seed for them to, have that thought that maybe they could work with you. Now, my goal when I cold call people is to just leave the door open for me to call them back again, right? To keep the conversation going. Now, why do I do that? Well, that goes into my next point. When you keep that conversation open, when you keep it going, when you keep it, like I like to call it, fun cold calling, right? You're calling somebody on the other line. Hey, you've already established you don't want to buy or sell, but who are you? What are you about, right? Maybe I could help you, maybe down the line. If you want to do something, what are you trying to invest in 5 years? What were you thinking when you bought this property? Did you buy it for your business? Was it an investment? There's a lot of questions. Become the question master. I don't know if you guys ever played, that drinking game, but it's, there's a role. It's called the question master, and he asks questions. So that's what you want to be. You want to be a master question. You want to master the art of asking questions and being curious, okay? Because that person that you're talking to, right now, that may not want to buy anything or sell anything, I can almost bet that person knows somebody that will buy or sell something within the next 30 to 90 days. It's very likely. Why? Because we all know so many different people. So when you're cold calling people, remember, your goal is not to try to make a sale. Your goal is just to try to have an ambassador for your brand, for yourself. So meaning me, Ramses Nava, the real estate agent, I want to talk to as many people as I can and get as many people as I can to get to know me. Because if they get to know me and they like me, well, guess what? The product or the thing that I'm offering is going to be just something that I offer, right? But they're going to work with me because they like me, not necessarily of what I know or what I have to offer, but just because they like me. And here's another stat for you guys. I don't know if you knew this, but I read it somewhere. And I could be wrong on the exact numbers, but I read that the conversion rate meaning for a person that you talk to turn them into a sale, right? That percent, it says that on the cold call, your conversion rate is going to be less than 5%. Meaning if you talk to 100 people, 5 people may or may not do something. So in referrals, when somebody sends you a client, let's say they say, hey Ramses, one of my buddies wants to buy a property, and they send you that person. Well, guess what? Your chances, the conversion rate, your chances of getting that client now jumps up to about 50 to 60%. So where do you want to spend more of your time? Do you want to spend it in the cold calling to try to get a sale? Or do you want to spend it cold calling, trying to get to know somebody and trying to get them to send you business later on down the line, not because of what you know, but of who you are? So just remember that. Don't break your heads over it, and know your product when you're calling, know your market, and really have a grasp on that. And most importantly, above all, just be yourself and know your scripts too. So I hope that helps you guys. Give a like to the video, subscribe if you want to see some more content. I'm going to be posting up some more videos, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.